China's President Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump are set to hold face-to-face talks in South Korea. Their meeting is being closely watched to see if it will lead to a thaw in relations due to disputes over trade and tariffs. Ahead of the meeting, Trump said he was optimistic about the outcome and that he expected many problems to be solved. Trump has made tariffs a major policy issue for his second presidency and threatened to impose huge levies on Chinese goods. The Chinese government, for its part, has set limits of exports of rare earth minerals, which are crucial to the US industry. Let's bring in our correspondent, RIk Glauert, who's in Gyeongju in South Korea. Are we expecting a deal between Xi and Trump, and what could it actually look like?
Well, yes, there's some high stakes and also some high hopes here in South Korea as those two leaders meet. All week, as Trump travels around Asia, he's been talking about how he hopes to do a deal with Xi. Yesterday, he was talking about a great outcome for both countries and a great outcome indeed for the whole world. And negotiators from both sides, from Washington and Beijing, have been meeting over the last week to hammer out some of those differences. In terms of what's on the table, some of the core issues, Washington has said it would be willing to lower the tariffs it's put on Beijing, particularly if Beijing can help with the fentanyl crisis. That's slowing the flow of the precursor materials used. And Trump has also said that he expects Xi to delay those controls on rare earth minerals and to purchase more soybeans. So we're expecting a de-escalation in their vicious trade war, yes.
What if the war does end between the two of them? What would that mean for the two countries and for the rest of the world?
Well, obviously, the world's two largest economies having these trade fights is not good for stability. It spooks the markets, and especially those rare earth controls that Beijing had said it was going to implement. These will affect the whole world. Those are the minerals that are needed in much of modern manufacturing, everything from the gadgets like smartphones, for electric vehicles, and for a lot of weaponry. So those controls would not just be affecting America, they would affect everyone around the world, including sort of EV manufacturers in Europe. A lot of the things on the table are recent escalations, things such as port fees and these extra soybean purchases. So the fundamental differences between the two remain, things like who has control over advanced technology. So we're looking at more of a reset, some stability in those ties rather than a real breakthrough.
And Rick, it's interesting that Xi has traveled to South Korea. What does he want to get out of this meeting?
Well, obviously, Xi will be looking to avoid those extra tariffs that Donald Trump recently said he would put in place. Xi Jinping is looking over a slightly slower growth in the Chinese economy. There's some stagnant demand there domestically, and he won't want anything that rocks the economy. China will also be pushing the US on allowing it to import more advanced chips. That's important for a 5-year plan Xi Jinping just unveiled that sees to boost their advanced manufacturing and have more self-reliance in the economy. And Xi will also be looking to present himself as a statesman here in South Korea. He'll be wanting to look like a reliable partner that can have these grown-up discussions and solve differences.
You heard it from RIk Glauert, our correspondent, covering developments there in that meeting in Gyeongju. Thank you.